Hey, what is up, Twitch world? Happy Tuesday? Dude, this quarantine nonsense has got me like having no idea what day of the week it is. I called somebody today and I was like, "Good afternoon." It was like morning time. Like it's got me all messed up, upside down, right side up, just janked up. It's all good. I hope everybody's had a pretty solid day. It's nice outside here, sort of, where I'm at. I don't know. Again, I'm a big outside guy. I don't really want to start every stream talking about the weather, but I usually just come in from outside, so it's like the first thing on my brain. Um, but it's like, yeah, it's a nice, cloudy, 60-degree day. I guess depends on where you're from. That could be hot or cold. I'm sweating a little bit, which I am. Look at that, dude. That's HD right there for you. Pick up the sweat on my brow. I was just on that grind. On that grind. I don't really know what I'm grinding for or towards, but I'm definitely on that grind. Ran what I run today, 11 and a half kilometers, which is starting to get up there a little bit. It's actually the furthest I've ever run in my life. So I'll pat myself on the back. Happy about that. But yeah, you guys let me know what's up with you guys. So that's why I got the towel. Pat myself dry. I sweat like it's my job. And it's not like an old person thing, it's a young money thing. Millsy, what's up, my guy? Dude, I've sweat like since I was like 12 years old. Like just drip. Deepy dishy. Deepy dishy. How's it hanging? I mean, depends on what we're talking about. We're gonna try to keep it fairly friendly, but for meaning the standard cliche, I mean it's hanging. For real. AK18, dude, thanks for the sub, my guy. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, AK. Yeah, dude, it's ridiculous. Like DP Dish, like I don't even like literally 12 years old, and it was like, hey, why don't we go do something for sports? And I'm just like, why do I have to bring 3 T-shirts to an hour-long practice as a 12-year-old? Like, doctors were like, yeah, that's just, yep, puberty and stuff. And now here I'm a grown-up still having the same issues where it's just like I'm gonna sweat for this whole stream. I'm gonna sit here because my body temperature won't go down. It's rough. I shouldn't run before stream. That's probably a bad idea. But cheers. Cheers. I feel it too, right? Oh, AK with that sub, by the way. I just got the email like literally right before stream started. I'm a little disappointed that I got it just now, but I just got some new custom emotes and stuff like that for subs and Twitch Prime subs and stuff like that to use. So that stuff will be coming. So I definitely appreciate the sub, dude. But yeah, dude, it's just rough life. But you know what? I'd much rather be sweating than be freezing. I don't know where y'all are coming from, what part of the world you live in, but I will take hot over cold any and every day of the week. Which my wife is the exact opposite. She's like always cold, and she's like, yeah, I don't want to be hot, but yet cold. I don't know. It's like if it's not like the perfect 70, like 0.5 degrees, she's complaining about the temp. I want to be hot. Just like I live in St. Louis, Missouri, so it's kind of similar. If you've ever been to like St. Louis or Atlanta, I feel like it's pretty similar temp wise, dude. In the summertime, you could like drown by breathing. Like it's so humid and thick that like it's like you can almost feel yourself swim. Okay, I'm with you. You can almost feel yourself like swim through the air. It gets so thick and so humid in St. Louis and hot Atlanta. I've only been there once in like 2000, probably like 10 years ago, actually. Late 2000s, over 10 years ago. But it was the only other city I've been to that reminded, like, where the humidity reminded me of home, which is not good. It's disgusting. Like, it really is. Like, it's like, dude, you'll go in the summertime and it'll be like 85 and sunny. And you're like, oh, it's a beautiful day outside. And you walk outside and it's just like a wall, like, of, for me, it's instant sweat. But even then, like, you can just, like, feel, like, the thickness. It's pretty gross. St. Louis weather. And then it'll rain in an hour and then tornado and sirens will go off. And then 30 minutes later, it's beautiful out again. And then it's humid again. There's one thing we're good at. It's being inconsistent. That's for sure. But DP, does you prefer the cold in general? I'm not with you on that one. I'm not with you on that. I want to be cold when I sleep. That's about it. Like that's about it, dude. I like kick back like just the sheet. Sometimes no sheet. I got like 3 fans on me, just like cool me off. That's like the only time I want to be cold. Other than that, I'll let me roast. Let me roast. I barely sunburn. I think I've had like I can count the number of sunburns on like one hand, and I spend a lot of time outside. But no cold. Like when I get old bones and like get to retire, oh, live in New York. Whew. We don't get every season every single day. We get rain, sun, rain, sun, rain, sun like 3 times in one day, and the humidity. Is it humid in New York though? DP Dishy? Is it? I don't. I've never been in New York. I've been to DC, which I would imagine the weather was pretty, and I was gorgeous when I went to DC. I've actually never been in New York, but I don't imagine it's that humid. Being off of the Atlantic, I could be wrong though. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's humid days. I mean, there's humid days everywhere. Not as bad as some other places. That's fair enough. I get you. I'm with you. But yeah, dude, when I went to DC, which I imagine is pretty climate pretty similar to New York, it was beautiful like the whole time. I mean, yeah, we had rainy days, but as far as like humidity, like I remember there was somebody on it wasn't on a subway, but whatever the tram is that runs in DC, and they were complaining about the humidity, and I was like, bro, this is like the least humid day of my life. I don't know what you're talking about. But oh, dude, AK lives in NoCal. This guy, I'm jelly. Sunny and the cold wind is blowing. Dude, okay, but what's like cold winds? What are you talking? What's a cold wind in northern Cal? I guess it depends on how northern Cal you are, really. But like, give me a temp in Fahrenheit, poor favor, please and thank you. Like, what's a cold wind in NoCal temp wise? Or does it matter? I don't know. I guess it depends on what part of the state. -14, right? That's probably in New York, dude. I bet it gets cold. See, that's not a retirement city. Mm-mm. I told my wife does not. My wife is like she's lived all over, mainly the Midwest, but she's just bounced around. Um, Actually, when she came to St. Louis and met me, then she like grew roots and hasn't moved away. Knock on wood. But she's like, I don't want to move. I'm tired of moving. What up, R by Jalen? And she's like, yeah, I don't want to move again. And I'm like, no, no, no. When we get to that old age where we ain't got to work no more, or that universal basic income comes, or what, I don't know how that's all gonna work. Who knows what politics will be in 20, 30 years? But but yeah, I was like, we're gonna go to some place warm. I don't care if I have to sweat all day. Like I'll take sweating all day over this nonsense that I definitely ain't going up north. Dude, I used to go to Wisconsin every year, multiple times, some for business, some for personal. But I used to go to Wisconsin, and every time I go to Wisconsin, like it could be March or October, I was like, it's gonna snow. It's gonna snow, and it's gonna be terrible. And it was every time. My wife's actually went to college in Wisconsin, just outside of Milwaukee, and we went to like visit her friends, and of course it was terrible. I could not go up north. That's not the direction I'm going. If you love the cold, who was it? Deepy Dishy, go for it, my guy. It's not this guy. Born and raised Midwest kid who needs more heat, less chill. 300 miles away from that cesspool. Ah, fair enough. So you're not in New York City, you're New York State, which I imagine is like basically two totally different things. At least that's what it is like here in St. Louis. Like we got St. Louis County and St. Louis City, which if you've never been to St. Louis, that's like two totally different things. Like when you meet somebody probably and they say they're from St. Louis, they don't mean St. Louis City most of the time. They mean St. Louis County. But when you hear about like that super high murder rate, I think we were like the murder capital of the states. Uh, I said that word funny. Murder capital of the states. I believe we beat out Detroit last couple of years. Represent, but they're talking about St. Louis City, which is actually a different thing than St. Louis County. All our sports teams are in St. Louis City, but nobody like lives in this. I shouldn't say nobody, but the yeah county is where most people live. Our like 3.2 million population, or I don't know where we're at, but most people don't live in the actual city. But we do surround the city, at least on the west side, north, south, west, just not east. Don't go east. East St. Louis? No. If you come and visit, if you fly into St. Louis Airport, don't go east. You'll be alright. You can head west. You actually probably don't want to head north. Go west first, then you can go north. 75 every day. Art by Jalen. I could use a little hotter, to be honest with you. Oh, that's right. Art by Jalen's a California kid too. I forgot about that. Um, Art by Jalen. No Cal or SoCal? SoCal, right? Art by Jalen. Orange County. Is that where you were at? South County, I believe. And AK is an hour north of Sacramento. Oh, dude, I bet that's nice. 68's perfect. I don't know about that. Okay, SoCal. Deep edition. I'm not a big fan of New York City. If I couldn't tell already. Yeah, I mean, slightly obvious. No biggie. Slightly obvious. I guess yeah. I mean, do two entirely different states like the city versus the rest of the state. I imagine that's probably how it is in a lot of places. We've got like your main city and then like the non-city. It's like city and non-city. I would imagine, which has got to be tough for like statewide politicians, right? Supposed to look out for the best interest of their state, but yeah, it's almost like they have two states that they're in control of. I mean, if you don't have a major metropolitan city, it's probably not an issue. But I would imagine most of those, you know, New York, L.A. I mean, Florida's kind of weird. Florida's like their own. I don't know, whatever. But like St. Louis, I'm Midwest, so St. Louis versus Missouri, Detroit versus the rest of the state, Michigan, Chicago versus the rest of the state of Illinois, Louisville versus the rest of the state of Kentucky. Actually, Louisville's awesome. One of my favorite cities. In my 20s, I went and partied hard for like a week in Louisville, and of all places I've been to, Louisville was my favorite party city I've ever been to. It was awesome. If you are of the age, which I know some of you guys are, because you said you need a cold one. Yeah, as long as they get some good alcohol, AK, on those hot days, I'm with you there. But dude, Louisville, if you guys get a chance, I'll throw a plug for the city of Louisville, Kentucky. I was expecting, I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest with you. But they've got like a strip, and maybe this happens in other cities, it just doesn't happen in mine, or at least even where I went to college, but they got like a whole city block. There's probably two city blocks at least, with like bars and restaurants, first floor, second floor. They even shut down the street, like the cops did, shut down the street at, I don't know, like 7, 8 o'clock, and then they would set up bars and like almost like a mall kiosk, and like there would be a bar outside of the bar, so like people would be like waiting in line to get into a bar or a club, and there would be like kiosks, like just temporary setup to the, yeah, it's just Kansas City's got that too. I forgot about that, Art by Jalen. It's not the same as Power and Light though. I've been to Power and Light in Kansas City, and while that's really cool, I thought Louisville was a bit different than Power and Light, but they're similar. I would say yeah, you could probably compare the two. But I just haven't. I don't know. I feel like I've been to a decent number of major cities, at least in the Midwest. And KC was my fave. I'm not KC. Louisville was my fave. KC, I've had a good time, but the only good nature spot, ooh, in the Kentucky area. See, when I went to Louisville, I pretty much stayed in the city, but even the city was nice. I mean, it was a pretty good looking city. I ain't gonna play. The most beautiful city I've ever driven through, though, believe it or not, was Birmingham in Alabama. Which apparently in Alabama you gotta be careful where you're going. But Birmingham was gorgeous. Like if you're looking for scenic views and nature spot, Birmingham was gorgeous. Like I felt like I walked into like a Smallville set, not Smallville, but oh my gosh, Pleasantville. That's the movie I was thinking of. Like a Pleasantville's like, dude, everything was like the perfect green and blah blah. Now I live in St. Louis, Missouri area. Which, if you want to see some cool nature spots, do the whole Ozarks, like that show on Netflix, Ozark. That's about all the. I haven't seen it yet, but I hear it's really good. With it's the guy from Hancock, not Will Smith, but the other guy. Smallville is correct. Art by Jalen. Now, dude, Birmingham is beautiful, beautiful. Uh, as far as like just driving through a city, I passed there going to, I forget where I was going. Yeah, I guess yeah, Smallville was, but that wasn't set. Smallville's actually in Kansas, but I don't know where they shot that TV show at. Oh, AK, good luck on your final, my guy. If you haven't left yet, what final? Just curious. Pleasantville, dude. This is such a throwback movie. I actually really like that movie, but that's a throwback movie of Pleasantville. But yeah, AK, good luck on that final, my guy. Same in Cali. SoCal makes the decisions for NoCal. There was something about like the NoCal, South Cal. Weren't they trying to like split up and become two different states? I know Texas has that option. I was reading the other day that Texas was like originally like 5 territories. So they when they joined the Union, like the United States, Jason Bateman and pre-calc. AK, good luck on that pre-calc. Get that graphing calculator. TI 84 plus color edition. Ooh, I actually have one on my phone. Hey, here's me nerding out for a second, guys. Check this out. If you got an Android, whoa, it's my calculator's green, so my green screen's gonna hate it. But your Android, I can't. It's not gonna do it. Oh, actually, hold on. Your Android phone's got a free TI. Boom. Free TI emulator on it if you got an Android. That's a phone, by the way, not an actual calculator. But yeah. So if you didn't realize that, I'm just throwing that out there. No calc on a pre-calc test? What is this? What is this life? Did I remember when I got to calc in college? They're like, okay, day one of class, you need to make sure you have a TI 83. Oh, you got an Inspire CX. This man clearly rocking that California life. I got the Inspires. Yeah, out here in the Midwest, like cost of living and stuff, we just can't afford that. That's too high class. That's too high style. Good for you though. Dude, I don't like it. Like I said, as you guys know, I'm a teacher. Dude, 0% of my kids show up with a TI graphing calculator, and I would say when I teach like basic math classes, like algebra, geometry, I'll say like 3 kids show up with a calculator, like even like a 4-function calculator. I'm like, dude, how do you show up to math class without a pencil, paper, and a calculator? It's your weapons of math destruction. Boom! Dad joke of the day. I haven't even updated it yet today. Boom. Ooh, maybe that should be the punchline. What do you guys think? Hold on. Yeah, let's make that the punchline. Dad joke of the day. What do you call a pencil? Whoa, I cannot type. Yes. That's like that might be my worst dad joke ever. Hold on, I gotta update it here too, guys. I cracked myself up. That's embarrassing. There you go. There you go. Dork, dude. I don't even take offense. Dork, nerd, whatever, dude. I'll take it all. Bring it on. Ain't bothering me. There was a time in my life when that would have bothered me. That joke was Monk Magnus dropping the dad jokes in the chat. Welcome, welcome, good sir. I should be paid more. I appreciate that, DP Dish. I'm a pretty frugal person. If you know who Dave Ramsey is, he's like an old boomer, but the dude has got some super conservative. But I don't think if you're like not politically conservative. I mean, he is politically conservative, but he doesn't like really like push politics. But if you need some good financial advice, I know when I started listening to his podcast, I was like, this man makes sense. It's like he like explains it with like math and stuff, and like, hey, this, and he'll not afraid to call you stupid in like a loving way. Like it's almost sometimes the dad you never had, although I had a pretty good dad, but just not when it came to finances. My parents were not the best of the best when it came to their financial decisions, but it's all good. But yeah, if you're looking for that, I'll throw him a shout out. He's like one of the biggest podcasters in the world, probably like top 25 easy. But if you need some financial advice, especially if you're in your like if you're 18 plus, I don't know how old the chat is right now, but if you're 18 plus and getting into there, I would take some financial advice from the Dave Ramsey. No, dude, I literally DP dish. Get this, dude. I start off every school year. Although I teach math and math less and less every year. They're transitioning me being engineering full time. But I taught algebra, geometry, algebra 2, pre-calculus, college algebra for 10 years. And like that was the first day of class. It's like, all right, guys, so I'm Mr. Young, your boy Young Money, whatever. And I'd be like, all right, I just need to know off the top of the bat, raise your hand, who hates math? And like some of the kids are like, is this man for real? Is he really? But like a lot of them be like, yes, straight up, me, sir. terrible at the maths. But no, it's good, dude. It's no disrespect taken at all. No offense. Some people like it, some people hate it, but I don't know. I think especially at the high school level. Like I think people have trouble differentiating the difference between arithmetic and math, and they like convolute the two. And it's like, dude, just because you're bad at arithmetic doesn't mean you're bad at mathematics. Like mathematics is more of like the critical thinking process of inductive, deductive reasoning. Like here's a rule. Now, because of that rule, what can I do with it? Which is just like general critical thinking skills and logic that you're going to use later in life. You might not do a single math problem in your life, but we're more trying to, at least a good teacher would be, trying to train your brain to just think differently as compared to be like, well, I never learned my multiplication table. That's arithmetic, dude. That's not even, dude, you don't have to do everything in your head. So yeah, basically, like I said, so you struggle with arithmetic. That's fine, dude. It's 2020. Most people, even engineers, are going to use a calculator or Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets to do all their arithmetic, dude. They're not the setting the critical thinking process and setting up the for those types of algorithms and things like that. Like my civil engineering class, I usually get like uh, super brainiac kids like that are in like calc as juniors in high school and down like fly through it. I mean, these kids are super bright kids. I mean, we're talking Ivy League school caliber kids in that class. And like when we get to the math, they're like, "Miss Young, all we're doing is like plugging numbers into formulas." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." But you've got to figure out which formula to use, what goes where, how this relates to that, and like we're solving like real actual problems. The math is just like the calculator does the math for us, the arithmetic for us. So, do DB Dish, I wouldn't say you're bad at math at all. I'd say you just struggle with a little bit of arithmetic. That's not a big deal. In all honesty, like it's 2020, man. You got a calculator on your phone. I know when I was growing up, they're like, "You're not going to carry a calculator with you at all times." Yeah, you are. It's all good. Yeah, if you can figure out stuff and write it down, you're good. Oh yeah, so you're a mechanic, right? So yeah, you get it. You, I would not say you're not bad at math at all, dude. If you've got to jot all that stuff down and figure it out, that's exactly what like mathematics is beyond like eighth grade. Our budget that aged well, right? Yeah, definitely not. What type of mechanic, DP Dish? Like, I mean, just like farm equipment, cars. I mean, there's airplane, there's helicopter. I'm just trying to think people that I know that are different types of mechanics. But just kind of curious there. We learned physics from driving tractors. I totally missed that art by Jalen. I don't even know what that's in reference to. That's awesome, dude. Speaking of driving tractors, where I live, I'm like in the outskirts of St. Louis, Missouri, and like where I live now, like 20 years ago, this place was just farmland for days. Like you couldn't see a dude. And now there's like we got like four high schools and it's like one of the biggest districts in the state. Like everyone moved here. It's been I mean I'm myself included, but it's been crazy. Like when I run into people who like are from that hadn't been here in like 15, 20 years, they're like, "You live where? Do you farm?" No, sir. Do not farm. Like super suburbs. Ah, screen printing factory, kind of float work on every machine. Oh, right on. Right on. That's actually really cool. So working on like is it more like presses or all digital by now? I would imagine. I guess it depends on how the shop is. My old man did. Actually, my uncle still is a pressman. My dad runs he's like a production line manager for a screen printing I guess it's a factory, but they do like sleeves of coffee mugs, like custom sleeves that like companies and corporations and advertisers can use. So that's what, and so he's like kind of has to work on the machines sometimes to like fix stuff that breaks, but he's been doing that forever. As far as working on little machines and stuff like that. He would say he's bad at math, and I would say he's not. I would say he's needs to write things down because he struggles with arithmetic. Millsy, got him. Nice, dude. That's awesome, DP Dish, dude. That's actually my before my and actually ran his own company back in like the '90s. I remember being like a little kid and going and seeing those massive presses, like big 3, 4, 5 color presses. Just running around as a kid. Millsy boy, what is up, dude? Been hanging out. How's the UK, dude? I hear you guys are starting back up the football. Millsy, at least that's what word on the street is. That's good. Monk Magnus used to play on those presses as a kid. Nice. I don't know how dangerous that is. I feel like there's an OSHA violation going on with children running around running around presses probably built in the 60s, 70s. It does sound like it would be terrifying for the workers. Like, excuse me, is that a 6-year-old on a 6-color press? They're like, is that magenta or is that a little darker today? Where'd that 6-year-old go? I do DP Dish. I'm glad you like it, dude. That's pretty awesome. I think what's the stats? You can make stats say whatever you want, and I know that because I'm good at math. But the stats say that like everybody hates their job. So I'm glad you enjoy it. I don't hate my job. I'll throw my hat in there. I think Art by Jalen. He's got to go for group one. Art Jalen talks about his job a lot, and I think Art Jalen really likes his job. Love you, sir. Good job. He's a counselor of some sort for youths, and he's strong in our heart. Didn't even go to college for mechanical. Dude, that's what I tell a lot of my kids, man. I'm like, not my engineering kids; those are a little bit different kid. But a lot of my other kids, I'm like, guys, we don't need to go into $100,000 in student loan debt if you're not gonna use that degree. Like, be careful. I think the '90s and 2000s when everyone was like, you have to go to college or you're a loser. And then it's like all of a sudden we see all these losers who didn't go to college and that are doing quite well for themselves because they learned critical thinking skills and put them to work. What did you say, Monk? Boss's kid climbing onto stacks again? Do we stop him? I would imagine most of the clientele at those press shops are probably just like, let him go. And it was the '90s. Hired on the factory through a temp agency. From a graduate, worked your way up. Nice, dude. I actually almost did that, dude. All through college, I worked, not all through, but I got a job with a temp agency working for City Mortgage, and I was like I processed loans, not home loans, but like I don't even know what they were really. To be honest with you, didn't look at them, but like I was basically just number crunching for them. And as a college kid in the early 2000s, making $15 an hour, like dude, that was a great job. Don't get me wrong. But I had some opportunities to just go up with there, and I had a buddy of mine doing the same gig. Was at the community college. I went to university, but he went to community college for a little. I don't even think he ever finished with associates. We both started working there together, and he's like, "Nah, I think I'm just gonna stay here and work my way up." And he did. He makes way more money than I do now. He doesn't even have an associate's, and I have a master's degree. He still works for City Mortgage. He's changed positions like probably 12 times. Yeah, he makes more than I do, and lives at home. His home. He owns his own home, obviously, but actually lives down the street from me. We both moved out the same place. Chili Chaz, what's up? What is up, Millsy? How many wins do I have in Warzone? I did low, like 2. It's embarrassing, but my KD's above 1. If that does that count for anything? Sometimes I feel like I don't know. In game, the storm doesn't work well for me, or I just don't have in-game strats, or the squad doesn't have in-game strats. We don't stick together. Didn't mean to put up the 4. No, it's all good. If anything, put up a 9. What's up, lad? 9. I'll take that. 4 and 9 aren't really close to one another. Keyboard though. But yeah, dude, only 2 wins on the Warzone, Millsy. But I did get my KD above 1. So I feel like I'm starting to get okay. I'll probably do a stream tonight. Last night I didn't stream, but I was Rocket Leaguing anyway. And it was kind of a I don't know, a mediocre day on the Rocket League. I think we finished like 500. So I'm still a handful of wins from champ. That's 2 more than you have, DP did, dude. So I hadn't played. First of all, I switched to KBM from a gaming standpoint. I switched to keyboard and mouse a year ago now, which I hadn't played keyboard mouse games since the '90s, like literally. I think I played like original Half-Life, which like became Half-Life 2, which became Counter-Strike, which became CS:GO. So like way back Half-Life. I played KBM and I had switched over to controller for years and years and years and years. And I was like, I'm gonna switch, go to KBM. So playing Warzone KBM as a first-person shooter, like that's like basically the first time in a lifetime playing it. So I was pretty hot garbage to start. But dude, I picked up a win in like my third game. Got in a game of trios with a buddy of mine who was also a trash can, and we got carried by some guy who had like 15 kills and picked up a dub. So really, I probably should say I only have one win that I've truly earned. But I have a lot of second places, which is really frustrating. I probably have at least 15 seconds and a lot of top fives. But I just struggle in that final in-game spot in Warzone. But two more and you got DB Dish. It's all good. It's all good. I've got some more Fortnite wins, but I don't know. I think skill-based matchmaking is putting me with a lot of not so good. But I'm not so good, so maybe it works out. I don't know. You guys watch the stream set. I do sufficient. I had like 3 games in a row where I was first or second. Dude, I don't get to choose my ads. It's so frustrating. The lad. What's up, my guy? Yeah, dude, I don't get to choose the ads. Like, I have no idea what plays. Is it the Bud Light Seltzer one that keeps playing? Because I think the very first ad ever played on the channel was the Bud Light Seltzer ad. Because the chat went crazy the very first time, and I'm like, I don't even see it. Like on my end, I don't even see the ads. Like I don't know when they play. I can run them so they don't play. Like if I have a lull or like I'm gonna go switch a game or do something like that, I can choose to play a commercial, which then turns off the autoplay commercials when you guys join the channel. But even then, I still don't know what commercial is. I can just choose how many commercials I need to play depending on whatever type of break I need. I usually don't do them during the AMAs. I just say, hey, when it joins, it plays the commercials. No big deal. But for the gaming streams, like if I gotta hop up something, grab a drink, or if it's just load times, like Warzone, you've got what, a minute between games anyway, so I can usually play a 30-second ad in there, and then people can just join in without seeing an ad. But here, not so much. But yeah, dude, I don't know why it plays the Bud Light. Because I have this all tagged as family friendly, man. Again, if you're new to the stream, it's not that I have a problem with language. I just choose not to use it. I feel like people who use the poor language are just lack of creativity. But I get it. There's slip ups sometimes. Usually not from me. Usually from the people I'm gaming with. I got a buddy. If you ever hear us talk on stream about going to Kim mode, like KIM, got a buddy of mine. His mom doesn't allow any language, and she's got like this banging vacation house that we all will go and take the squad basically up there for like the weekend or something. And she'll be up there, and she's like, "Hey, it's Kim mode because her name's Kim." So I always got to remind the guys that I'm streaming. I'm like, "Hey guys, I'm streaming tonight, so turn Kim mode on." So if you ever hear us or me reminding people in on streaming the gaming streams that I'm playing with squads or duos or something like that we're on Kim mode, now you can be in on the inside joke. DB Dish terrible. What do you play, DB Dish? Terrible at shooters. What's your game of choice then, my guy? Like more like an overhead, like a city skylines. Oh, there's Sully Snap. There he is. There he is. So there's no Kim mode. We are always on Kim mode on the Young Money 9 streams. Unless I'm doing a PG-13 stream, which I'll obviously put up there in the chat and let you guys know. But did anybody watch the? Speaking of shooters, I know I'm actually kind of curious what DB Dish plays, but uh, if anybody watched the Fortnite NHL tournament yesterday, it was like midday. It was like from Central Time, probably like 12:30, maybe around noon, 1 o'clock, somewhere time. I went for a couple hours. I played four games, and it was all NHL players. Dude, I'm sure you can probably rewatch it back on Twitch. I should have casted it. I apologize to you guys. That would have been some good content for you. I ended up watching because I watched the whole thing. I watched Nick 830 stream of it. That's actually why I missed yesterday's stream. As I was watching that with the fan. But dude, that was a ton of fun just watching NHL players and seeing how they do. Because I'm a St. Louis Blues fan, the reigning Stanley Cup champion, St. Louis Blues. And dude, they won the Fortnite event last night. It was pretty slick. I think they had top fives all 4 games. They took a 1 Vic Royale, but it was a lot of fun. Like kind of rooting for a team, but like in a totally different way because they were playing Fortnite. So I don't know if you guys like hockey or watch hockey, but if you had an affiliation, I know a lot of sports teams have been doing those things, and yeah, check those out. They're actually really really entertaining. Just give yourself something. My son's a huge St. Louis Blues fan, so the whole time he's like, it's like, why are they not showing him? I want to see Vince Dunn. I want to see Vince Dunn. And then St. Louis won. So now we're Stanley Cup champs and Fortnite champs. So, rep the STL. But a lot of stuff on MMO. Okay. Lots of stuff besides that stuff. Gotcha. I would say I play games to unwind, which is why I think I like Fortnite and like Rocket League and stuff a bit better than Warzone right now, dude. When I play Warzone, I feel like I have to be like in the grind, like calming out everything, like where are we going here? Like my brain's gonna be going 1,000 miles a minute. Whereas like when I play Fortnite or something, like yeah, there's got to be times when you got to do it, but I feel like that's like a lighthearted. Maybe it's just because it's cartoony. I don't know, but I feel like that is a bit to unwind in Rocket League. Rocket League depends on the day. Like some days it's just like, dude, I'll sit back and like kick a leg up, and I play that with controller still, so I'll just sit there in Rocket League, um, and usually that's a lot of fun. But I do not sit in buildings in the Fortnite. I sit in buildings sometimes in the Warzone because I can't figure out where somebody is, or I don't have my squad with me. But terrible at shooters. Warzone all day. Well, dude, Warzone, the people that are running and gunning are either like Symphony, who are insane, or you're dead because you're trash. We're pushing the fight, Boomer. Love it. Oh, Fallout 76, wasn't that the one? I haven't played any of the Fallouts, so hate on me there. But wasn't one of them ever, like, at least Reddit, and they hate everything, but really hated, Reddit really hated one of the Fallouts. I don't remember which one, but Reddit went on a pretty big, like, we hate, I think it might have been 76. I don't know. Oh, it is 76, the black sheep of the family. Okay, fair enough. I haven't played any of the Fallout. I've heard really, really good things. Fallout 76 is the newest, and it's bad. Are you speaking from personal experience, Monk, or are you just parroting Reddit right now? That's a real question. Are we parroting Reddit? Patriots saying the answer to your question, sir, is yes, of course. But if you want to try it with a Revolve tool, it could be pretty cool. Just throw that out there. Yeah, I got a big fan of our Discord, so parroting him. Okay, so you have a big Fallout fan in your Discord group, and he says no dice. Fair enough. I said DP, that's an inside joke that I just don't get. Seems like a Monk thing to do. Parrot Reddit. Nah. Monk's good. We like Monk. Monk Magnus. Monk Manus isn't really a shooter either. DP Dish. Gigantic Fallout nut. Nice. Okay. What's the very first one? Is it just Fallout 1? Like Fallout? Like when did that come out? Like how many Fallouts are there? I don't even know. Oh, good luck, Patriots fan. You guys Fortnite squadding with the bros? Good luck. I assume maybe you're Warzone. Maybe you're doing something totally different. I don't know. But good luck. Ooh, Sully Snat. Sully Snat and Monk are gonna go fisticuffs. Gonna go to blows. I want to know, like, because there's some of these classic games that I need to get playing, like Last of Us, Fallout. I've never played. I've played one of the. Oh my gosh, it's super huge. They make jokes on Reddit all the time. I played one of them, and I cannot think of what it is. As far as like those classic games where they made versions and they got big followings. Um, First one was called Fallout back in the '90s. Is it really that old? No way. On GOG for cheap. I love GOG. DRM free stuff. $10 for Fallout right now, huh? From the '90s, huh? Hmm. I almost pulled the trigger on a Steam sale for Heroes of Might and Magic. They had like for like $5 or something. Like Heroes of Might and Magic. I remember playing that game back in the '90s. I was like, ooh, I wonder how that like. I wonder how that game aged. Well, turn-based strategy game, like set in fantasy dragons and stuff. I remember that as a kid. That was a good time. But so I thought about getting one of those, but I don't know. I don't have too much time. There's Fallout 1, 2, Tactics, but holy cow! I had no idea there were that many. Like not at all. So what's the big catch on Fall? I mean, like, what's the big like Assassin's Creed? I was huge and I played the first like 6 of those. I haven't played anything past Unity. Assassin's Creed, but like what for me it was like, dude, those things, the storyline, like how they weaved like conspiracy theories, and like the open world was pretty cool, but like how they weaved in all like the real life spirit conspiracy theories, and like mixed in the different religions and histories and famous people within history and how they're all kind of work. Like I thought that was just such a cool storyline in the Assassin's Creed, and I like totally bought me in. But like Unity, I didn't really get much out of that. I didn't really like that one. What was another Assassin's Creed that I didn't really care for? Which one's the American history one for Assassin's Creed 3? I thought they botched that one because dude, they could have made 4 games on the American history. There's so much stuff in there. AC is truth. Like there was so much good stuff they could have done with the American history one, especially when they were working with the Native Americans. Like, dude, there was so much good stuff they could have done with that Assassin's Creed, and I feel like they totally botched it. It's like while I enjoyed that game, I was still like salty when I finished it because I felt just totally unsatisfied with the opportunity that they had squandered. Does that make sense? But like the whole Desmond storyline, the Ezio storyline, the Altair storyline, if you know what I'm talking about with the Assassin's Creed games. Um, Assassin's Creed 1 is quite repetitious, but really 2 Brotherhood Revelation, which is like 2.5, 2 and 2 thirds, or maybe 2 and a third, 2 and 2 thirds, whatever. Those are really good. And then what's the one where you're a pirate? Basically, it doesn't even feel like an Assassin's Creed game, but it's still a ton of fun. Is that Black Flag? I think so. That one's fun, but it doesn't feel like an Assassin's Creed game. And I heard that's what happened to like some of the new ones. I haven't played like Odyssey and Origins, but I heard like the gameplay is different and it's not so much like they're good games, but they're just not. They shouldn't be Assassin's Creed games. They should just be another something else. But good games nonetheless. At least that's what I've heard from the other. But yeah, I haven't played anything past Unity. Unity was so buggy and the storyline was kind of meh. So I don't know. I had a tough time getting into it. Beyond that, but Odyssey's all about levels. Yeah, Black Flag is just a pirate simulator. Now it's awesome. I loved Black Flag, but it's definitely not an Assassin's Creed game. Like it's nothing like the other ones, at least the ones that came before it. But it was a ton of fun. It's like just from a fun standpoint, dude, Black Flag was a ton of fun. No joke. Tactics, BOS or small games weren't as popular. Broken Mess, yeah. I assume we're talking about Unity there. But Brotherhood was a ton of fun, and then Revelations is the if you played Brotherhood and liked to play Revelations, Origin played recently, liked it. Loki hated the rest. Did you give Revelations a shot? How can you like Brotherhood and not like Revelation? And even the one before, just Assassin's Creed 2. Odyssey is the enemy. Odyssey is the enemy is 2 levels above you, so he's immortal. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I like the Pieces of Eden storyline. Like the storyline is, I think, what got me most on Assassin's Creed, and more like you had to like plan out your attacks and like research. And there was like different ways to beat it, and apparently like they've turned into like hack and slash, almost like dude, here's a throwback game, almost like a Dynasty Warrior game. If you ever played those, dude, my little brother played the heck out of some Dynasty Warrior games, which I never played them, but it looked like just massive button mash battles, which I've heard that's kind of how the Assassin's Creed has gotten. It's more about just kind of button mashing fighting, and I'm like, that doesn't sound like an assassin, right? Dynasty Warriors has some Monk Madness, love it, and that series is dead now too. Nice. You couldn't do it back again if you're into Black Flag for the storyline, no dice. But the whole pirating thing and like the different missions and the ship stuff, I think they made like inspired like other pirate games. There's one that somebody streams all the time. It's kind of like Fortnite style that I've never played. I'm sure somebody will put it in the chat. Like the Fortnite style pirating game. I forget what that's called, but I've heard that's pretty popular too. But as far as like animation or the graphic wise, Sea of Thieves. Boom, Monk Madness coming in clutch. Yeah, Sea of Thieves, I believe is what it's called. But I think I want to say that one was one of the ones inspired by Black Flag, but I could totally be wrong. But Dude, I would give. Not, it's not really Fortnite. Maybe it's just the trailer. I don't know. I thought it was like graphic wise, kind of like Fortnite. No, this was cartoony. Maybe not. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game. I don't know. I don't play graphics. Yes. Okay. I know. It's, gameplay wise, it's nothing like Fortnite, but graphic wise, it just reminded me of like, oh, that's kind of like Fortnite, like, which I don't have really problem. And I actually feel like Warzone, for as massive as that game is, like 100+ gigs, should have better graphics. Just saying. Like when I'm hiding in a bush, I feel like I'm hiding in a bush on an N64. Just a little disappointed there. The rest of the game, I mean, it's solid. See? Gosh, got him hiding in a. Well, listen, if I don't have cover, I'm gonna find a bush. Had a motion to play a game in months. Fair enough. Clip it. Oh, Sully Snap. This guy. This guy with got the founder badge though. So I got the emotes in today, by the way, for the subs. So they should be popping up. I'll probably get them done later this evening. Got the graphic artist hit me up, or I hit him up, and he sent me stuff. Yeah, I've got some custom emotes from the guy that did the Young Money 9 logo, and he actually worked on a couple more channel art stuff for me. So yeah, he's just sent the news. I haven't even checked my email yet, but I did send him like what my idea was. I was like, hey, here's what I think we can do emote wise, and we'll just see and go from there, man. But yeah, we should be able to get some emotes going for the subs and the prime subs. But yeah, at least that's the plan. So we'll see what we can put together there. Some fancy emotes going on. Dude, I need a chop. This is getting a little rough up top. Beard too, man. It's getting a little rough. So I'm almost getting back to like quarantine neared right now, like a neck beard. Need to need to polish this thing off. That's the only emote you need. Love it. Well, dude, I was so noob when I started on Twitch. I was like, I don't even know what the difference between an emote and an emoji is. But I have since been learned. But dude, I actually barely even look at all the emotes that are already preloaded into Twitch. But there's like wings and stuff and squids. Is it Millsy? Somebody in chat's usually all got like comes on strong with their emote game. I think it's Millsy. All right, Chili Chaz, dude. Hey, maybe I'll check it out, dude. But I appreciate you hanging out, my guy. Faux show. Oh, happy Tuesday, ladies and gents. Oh, we maybe should raid Chili Chaz here when I finish. I need to get. This could be that could be our first raid. I don't know if he's family friendly, but you guys can leave. But I'm not ready to leave. I'm not ready to be done yet. But I do need to pull up my to figure out how to raid. I think we tried to do it. How to raid? Whoa! I tried to do it on stream a while back, a couple weeks ago. We're done with you. Thanks, Sully. Nothing but love from the snap. It has been a nice Tuesday. I ain't gonna lie. But no, we should be able to. Maybe we'll get a raid over to Chili Chaz and just see what he's all about. Although Twitch was being weird as far as some of their stuff was going. Like it took away my ability to clip things, but it looks like that's up and running now. It was just being a bit awkward. It's Chili Chaz on YouTube. Totally not. So I can't even raid you, Chili Chaz. Sorry, I haven't put any channel rules as far as self promo right now. So you're all good, Chili Chaz. Good luck. Have fun, my guy. What do we before you leave? What are we streaming? Chili Chaz, we gaming? We doing art by Jalen does. Actually, I'll put a shameless plug in for art by Jalen. I know he left the chat earlier. He was popping in here earlier. If you like to watch, or you got questions for like a dude that's really good like comic book art, like he does like professional. It's like his side hustle, but he's like insanely good. Like he's been picked up by, like been contracted to do some work for some. He can't like talk about it, but like you can see him do his work live on Art by Jalen. I think it's Art by Jalen, but he does streams on Twitch. So if you like art and like that type of comic book drawings and stuff, go check it out. I know I was on his stream last night, kind of while I was gaming, just kind of had his on to the side, just kind of get checkups in between games, see what he was doing. But it turned out to be pretty sweet. Minecraft, Chili Chaz, a game I've never played. I missed it, man. I missed the Minecraft window. I get requests all the time from chat to play Minecraft, especially like a first walkthrough. Like yeah, Patriots fans always always on my case, like, dude, play some Minecraft, play some Minecraft. I'm just like, I guess I could get like a first run through, like a reaction video. And you play with my kids on that. Dude, we went for a walk yesterday, and the neighbor kids were talking. Get out of my room, I'm playing Minecraft. We're The neighbor kids were running around the street, and there was one as old as my kid, and he was talking about playing silly chess. He was playing. They're talking about playing Fortnite as a 6-year-old. I was like, whoa, whoa, we just got started on Super Mario World. We're gonna ease into this. But yeah, I was like, dude, my son's got fellow kindergartners that are already on that Fortnite grind. I was like, whoa, I own the game, but I haven't touched it in years. One day I'll show it to my niece. Right? Like I didn't realize. I totally forgot Minecraft wasn't free to play. I think we talked about that last week in stream. People were like, I was like, what? That's a paid game? I had no idea. I thought I thought it was just too new, but it's over 10 years old, I think. Which I think that was like before games were like free to play. It's not 4 games, like mainstream, like big games were free to play. That business model, which I don't know. Like some people really hate that type of stuff, but if you're giving me a free game, like I could easily throw like $60 at it because that's what it used to be. Actually, dude, it used to be like back in the '90s and stuff. Like Super Nintendo games are $60. It's like $90 in today's money. So like realistically, like how much has game inflation really gone up? I don't know. Well, it could be. I'm picking up what you're putting down, DB Dish. I don't necessarily condone, but I'm picking up what you're putting down. But no, actually, a lot of my students end up somehow getting it on their computer, and when they finish their 3D modeling in class, they'll like all of a sudden I look over and people are grinding on Minecraft. I'm like, dude, you know what? You're done with your work and it's quality. We good. Like I ain't even. You got 10 minutes to burn. I'm smelling what you're selling. Smelling what you're stepping in. But yeah, so they'll get on that grind in class sometimes as long as they're finished. You can still pay for the non microtransaction versions. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of pirating. If something's got quality work, man, I'll show them some love. That's how it is. Like, ooh, unless it's an EA, the EA hate is strong. Yeah, dude, I'm pretty active in the Leicester City soccer team football subreddit, and during quarantine, obviously there's no soccer going on right now, so people have been posting a lot of their EA FIFA stuff, and I'm like, guys, don't forget, we're supposed to hate EA. Like we can't forget their sins need to be punished. We cannot forget that we need to hate EA. Let let the hate flow through you. We can't give them a pass on on the atrocities that they've committed, right? We can't forget. But I actually just don't. I wouldn't even pirate them. I just don't play them. Monk, you got to highlight that message, my guy. You got enough channel points for sure. Yeah, you got to highlight that. Yeah, Bundesliga is back to playing. They played Saturday. Uh, that's where a lot of the Americans are playing right now. Is in that German league, the Bundesliga. There's like 5 young. I mean, there's more than 5, but like 5 of our up and coming Americans are all playing the Bundesliga, and yeah, so they're back to playing. Was Spore like a decade ago? Nice. But yeah, so that's been interesting. I haven't watched a ton of the highlights on that because a lot of the Americans are either hurt or getting benched right now, which is awesome. Um, like Josh Sargent, he's like our up and coming striker. He sat the bench yesterday. He played Monday actually, yesterday's game. But then, well, who else? Weston McKinney plays for Schalke. He's playing pretty well, but other than that, like nobody else is really getting any playing time. So I said I totally missed the microtransactions are more profitable, and absolutely because you get the whales, dude. You get the whales that suck it in, spend way more than $60 on a game, and I mean, it used to be like, hey, $60, everybody pays $60. Well, now you can get people who, like me, who pay $0 for Fortnite, and they've gotten zero of my money. But then for every one of me, there's somebody who's spending twice $60. So they're going to make more money with the microtransactions, which I'm okay with because then I mean, like, I guess you're kind of prying on little kids, but at the same time, like if you're constantly putting out new content like Fortnite does, it's not the worst thing in the world. Like they constantly change up the game, so it's kind of like it's almost like you're licensing the. I don't know how I feel about it. least in Fortnite, it's all cosmetic. It's not pay to win. Pay to win, I'm totally against. But I don't know, offering a game for free and microtransactions for aesthetics, like Rocket League. Rocket League does that. Fortnite does that. Does Warzone do that? I don't know. I don't even look at the store in Warzone. Sure, it's not pay to win, or somebody would have already yelled at me for it. But I would imagine, I think those are all cosmetic. I still rock with like the noob skin girl, like the OG one. I'd still put money into Rocket League if they didn't change. I did put a bit, like probably $20 into Rocket League, but Rocket League's not free either. So that's not a free. Rocket League's not a free game. I think I might have got it on Xbox for free, like on a weird sale. And I paid $6 for it on console or on PC when I switched. But yeah, dude, they used to have a really cool, not cool, but the loot crate system was kind of fun, similar to gambling, but it was still kind of fun. And I didn't feel like I was certainly not pay to win, so I was okay with it. If that's how I choose to spend my money and spend my cash, like I'm okay with that. It's not the end of the world to me. But they got bought. They're Epic owned. I know that for the people that hate EA, I know there's some people out there that hate Epic too. Yeah, similar to game with the kids rating issue. And I also think Epic, because Epic changed it to their Fortnite model where you just pay for the item you want, and the items change every day. So clearly, Fortnite knows that sells. It's not gambling; it's surprise mechanics. It's not a glitch; it's a feature. Come on. But yeah, I can see the gambling issue being, and especially the addiction thing too. Um, but I don't know, for aesthetic only microtransaction stuff. I mean, I'd say you'd rather buy what you want to buy as compared to getting something out of the box. But I guess as an older person, boomer, I'm not a boomer, but I didn't really feel like I was addicted to the rolling randomness of a crate. And sometimes the government just doesn't want things, so they classify things as gaming. It's like, think about this. So back in the early 2000s, no, mid 2000s, this would be slightly non-family friendly. I'll clarify that. There was a game, and I imagine it's still pretty popular on college campuses, but beer pong was huge, and it was played at like every bar. There were like qualifiers, regional tournaments. I played in all of those. Um, I actually got pretty far in qualifying. I was actually like in one of the regional tournaments. I was like up 2 places off, I think, from getting a free qualification for World Series of beer pong in Vegas. But so yeah, no, you don't sound like a boomer. You sound like a millennial. There's nothing wrong with millennials. It was actually complete. No, it's all good, dude. But no, anyway, so uh, the bars and stuff, like when I was in college, used to run these beer pong tournaments all the time. Sometimes they just have open play. Like it was huge. And the boomers didn't like that. They didn't like that there was all this beer pong going on and play because it was making a ton of bars money because people were drinking more because they had to play the game and so on and so forth. Let the millennial flow. Um, so like the local politicians from where I went to college at basically got together and they said, "Hey, beer pong is gambling because it's not a skill based game; it's a luck based game to throw a ball in a cup, and because it's luck based, it therefore classifies as gambling, and you're not allowed to gamble at the bars, at least where I was from." So that's how they got. That's how the boomers got beer pong out of all the bars and clubs and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. DP dish, exactly. Um, so that's how they got beer pong out. So because I remember towards the end of college, like my regional qualifiers and stuff, like I used to be able to go to any bar and practice whenever I wanted, but had to go play um, had to go play at the casino. So the casinos would actually somebody or whoever was running the tournaments like rent out a room at the casino. That way they could actually. We have some casinos pretty close. We have a St. Louis got the rivers, obviously. So there's casinos on the river because in Missouri or St. I don't know how it works. But there's some law about like you can't have a casino on land. It has to be on the water. I don't know. I don't make the rules. So like all our casinos are on the rivers. They like float, sort of, whatever. But yeah, so they that's what they ruled in the county that I lived in college or the city that I lived in college. They ruled that it was a luck-based game, therefore gambling, and got it yeeted out of all the bars and clubs, and basically moved exclusively to the casinos, and really kind of died out, to be honest with you, because even when I was out of college in my 20s, I would try to go play in some, but I'd have to travel pretty far. Like there wasn't really an opportunity. I don't know. I mean, I would imagine the game still play, but It certainly can't be played like it used to be played. I feel like there's probably other games that have taken its place, but at least locally where I went to school. But yeah, so that whole thing of just calling something gambling, I feel like sometimes they just throw it as a catch-all. Like, that's gambling. Can't have it. Can't have it. Loot crate, that's gambling. Can't have it. Well, regardless of how you feel about loot crates, I'm not sure gambling is the way. Not sure the gambling is how I feel on that one, but it's all good. Good old boomers telling people to get off their lawns, better not be having fun. And they actually made another change down there because back where I went to college, there's like a huge bar, nightclub scene, and all the boomers are always putting in rules. They put in a rule that, I remember this one because they actually shut down a lot of the bars. You had to have, in order to keep your liquor license in the city, you had to have 50% of your revenue be from food. So basically, like all the bars that didn't sell food or bars that sold more alcohol and liquor than they did food were donezo. Like, because they're just, again, boomers don't want the 20 somethings having fun, and boomers have the power. Not that I'm a boomer hater, but that's legitimately what happened here in both of those circumstances. And actually, in the same strip, those same bars and nightclubs that had beer pong were the same ones that. So a lot of them have closed down now, but yeah, it wasn't like indefinitely. It was during certain hours of operation, things like that. But yeah, it was. I mean, it was literally just. It was exactly like DP Dishy said, like just straight up. I better not catch you having any fun over here. Yeah, just straight up, no fun allowed. Like the Monk Magnus. Um, yeah, DP Dishy. I'm with EA's got the money, they got the power, but I mean, all we can do is vote with our wallets when it comes to private matters like that. With the politician stuff, you got to vote with the whatever. But a lot of those kids, college kids and things like that, yeah, trash games. A lot of those kids in college, like they're not voting or they're not registered to vote because they're imports, right? They're just going to college, university there. They're not registered to vote in that city. Although you can register to vote while you're at college to vote in your municipality of your college. You can call the school your permanent residency and transfer your voting rights. Fun fact, just so you know. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, it is. I'm a bit past time. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you guys. Sorry about missing a stream yesterday. I do plan on getting on some gaming streams on this evening, so feel free to pop in, check those out. Hit that follow button, hit that sub button. Definitely appreciate that. Whether it's sub or Twitch Prime or whatever. I know we had AK drop in that sub at tier 1, so I definitely appreciate that. But yeah, dude. Hit those buttons. Have a good night, day, evening, morning, whatever you guys are after. And I will see you guys, man. Young Money out.